Welcome back, y'all. So, quick update. Took the Fox Body on its maiden voyage. Drove about 100 miles yesterday. No major issues. It does have a little bit of a stumble at constant speed, and it does still want to kind of stall out when you are coming to a stop and you press in the clutch. So, with that being said, I'm going to be doing a couple things in this video today. Going to be changing out the plugs, which I should have done already, but you know, whatever. I'm going to put some Autolite 3924s in. I've already gapped them to 40 thousandths. I'm going to be taking the MAF out, cleaning it, which again I should have done when I did the intake. Just didn't honestly think about it. And I also, something I should have already done when I had it out, but I'm going to be taking the EGR off and cleaning that out, making sure it's working good. So those are possible vacuum leaks, and the MAF sensor, if it's dirty, it could be causing some issues. So I'm seeing if I can clean up the drivability a little bit. With that being said, the first thing I'm going to be doing is going ahead and taking the intake, the upper portion of the tube out, and the MAF sensor to go ahead and clean the MAF. While that's out, then I'll go ahead and pull out the EGR, clean it up, and then before I put anything back together, I'll go ahead and do the plugs, because with the intake out, it makes it easier to do the plugs. So that being said, first things I'm going to be doing is probably taking this clamp off and this clamp off, and just pull this tube and the MAF out as one, and I'll clean it from there. So stay tuned. Okay, so let's see if I can get the light on. The portion you're going to want to clean is the filament right here inside. You want to make sure you use actual mass airflow cleaner, because your brake cleans and your throttle body cleaner and stuff can chew up the filament. So I'm going to spray this pretty easy. Let me see if I can get a better lighting. Is not good in here today. I apologize. I've got to keep one of my doors shut because of the wind. So I'm just going to spray it in there. And that'll probably do the job right there, but I'll leave it out for now. Let it sit. Probably spray it again here in a minute. Pretty much all I did undo 3 clamps. I did the one in front of the MAF, the one behind the tube, and I also did the one in the front of the upper tube between the tube and the MAF, because it just made it easier to wiggle out. So in order to get the EGR out, I'm going to take the two supplied nuts, which I think they were 13s, maybe wrong, but it's just taking those 2 nuts out, the vacuum line, and the connector, which I've already shown, but never hurts to show it again. So get that out of the way, and I'll be back. Okay, so got the EGR out. Let me set y'all over here for a second. Maybe you can see a little better. So it was a 1/2 inch on the top and a 14 on the bottom. Don't forget the lock washers, but one thing I want y'all to see, hopefully it shows, is there's some crud right up in here that might be causing a seal issue. So I'm going to spray this thing out. Maybe that'll clean it. Not terribly worried about it, but I'm going to work on it anyway. So all I'm going to take is some throttle body cleaner and spray down in this area where the pintle valve, around where it seats, seems to be moving pretty free. There might be an issue with the diaphragm. I don't know. I'm just running through possible things that I can fix. So hold on one second. Okay, so just a couple quick shots around it. Squeeze down, sprayed up in the area where it seals, and then sprayed a little bit in the other hole, and cleaned it up. It's not going to be perfect, but a couple quick shots. Took longer to take it off than it did to spray it down. So next I'm going to put it back in. Still, it's really not that big of a deal. It's probably won't change a thing on this car. It wasn't that dirty as some of the other ones I've seen. But the fun part is getting this bottom bolted up. And I'll show you here in a second once I get to it. I'm gonna run it up as far as I can with my finger. Okay. So I think basically I'm going to go with my ratchet wrench on it. Didn't mean to do that. I'm going to go with my ratchet wrench over here on it, and it takes a little just finagling, short strokes. So should show that. I don't know that I'm gonna be able to show this. You see how short I'm having to stroke it to get it in there. And then you gotta find a way to wiggle that damn wrench off. Okay, so it was right in front of my face the whole time. Okay, that's on there. Now, get the connector plugged back in. I had unhooked the fuel pressure regulator vacuum and hook up EGR vacuum port. There we go. That part's done. So next I'm gonna be pulling the plugs. I'm gonna pull one at a time, just so I don't have to deal with rearranging the plug wires. I'll just do them one at a time, go back to front, and yeah, it's just pulling plug wires. So stay tuned, I'll be back. Quick update. So pulled the first plug. It's the same as what I'm putting in it, Autolite 3924s. It was gapped about between a little bit smaller than 40 thousandths, about probably between 35 and 40 thousandths. My 35 slid right in, and my 40 thousandths wouldn't. I'm not going to take the time to figure out exactly, but they do look old. So like I said, I'm going to be changing all them out. I've already got one done. I'm just going to do the rest of them real quick and report back. Well, that took about 10 minutes until I lost a spark plug in the depths of hell in the cross member, the key member. So spent about 30 minutes trying to fish around, trying to find it. On the bright side, though, I found somebody's 10mm socket that had been buried there in the depths of hell for God knows how long. But spark plugs are changed. It's time to get the intake tube back on, and we'll be ready to start her back up. So hang on just a second. Okay, intake tube is back on. Just got to plug in the MAF, which, of course, the connector fell. Come here. Old wiring. All right, get that plugged in. Everything else is plugged in. Got the EGR connector. Okay, let's start her up and see how she runs. Oh, about did it again. Coil wire, I had it unplugged just to get it out the way. Alright, so this is pretty much conclude this video on chasing down the EGR cleaning. Had to get it started. Had a, as you saw in the previous, actually disregard that. I had to replace the distributor. Turns out my PIP sensor went bad at the same time, so had to reset the timing, and now I'm going to probably go ahead and reset the base idle again, just because I've messed with a lot of stuff, and you know, it might have not, it seems to be idling a little bit higher now, but it's idling pretty good. Turn the lights on. I can get the but there she is. So next thing, if after I drive it, if it's still got some drivability issues, I know there's got to be a vacuum leak somewhere in the system, so I'll be, you know, chasing that down. But stay tuned for more on that. Until next time, I'll be back.